Hey, good morning, everybody. Alright, it's Saturday, November 11th. Now, I know it's usually Sunday whenever I publish these, but happy Veterans Day, everybody. Alright, now thanks to one of you viewers for commenting last week on the gears, asking whether or not our gears are 400 or 500 series. Well, we have the answer to that. Based on the tag up here, hopefully this focuses. It's kind of just stamped in there. It's a little difficult to read, but 5041 400. That's a 400 series landing gear. Let's go see what we got in the crate. Alright, so here's the other gear that we got. Looking at the part number here, 41500. It's a 500 series gear. Which really stinks. That's darn near brand new right there. It's always the small details, right? Maybe some of you guys know, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the 500s were used on the Navy, Marines, anything that went on a carrier, because that was a beefed up strut, and the 400s were on the Air Force birds? I don't know. Someone smarter than me probably knows that answer.
Use the other flashlight, it's much brighter. That's mine right there.
Okay. Well, good news, everybody. We got the pins out. Now we got to get that nut off. And amongst other things. Alright, so what we got going on, Al?
Well, our strut here is leaking from the lower chamber into the upper chamber.
Right.
And it's leaking pretty quickly, and so the strut's no good right now. So we're going to have to take this lower half out and completely reseal the whole assembly and put whatever required parts will be back in it.
Basically, you're doing a quick, or not a quick, but a reseal job.
We're doing a little mini overhaul.
Yeah.
But first, like I said, got to get that nut off, and then the torque tube will come off, then the brake housing will come off, and then we can start working on getting that out.
Yeah. So we got to get the scissor link off, the shrink link, and then it looks like this big gland nut has to come out, and then this whole thing, this whole assembly drops out.
It drops out.
Imagine that's not light.
No. 3 men and a boy.
We'll get her done. Got to do the good work. Keep this bad boy going.
Yeah, she's kind of, well, it's getting cold now, so we're probably going to see a little more of stuff like this, hydraulic leaks. I mean, she's bad for that anyways, but when it gets cold, she's worse.
They leaked when they were brand new. Mm-hmm. It's like hydraulic leaks and Phantom go hand in hand.
Yeah, Bill's saying if it don't see any drips, it's out of fluid.
Yeah. So that just changed the course of what we got to do with this, knowing that our spare gear won't work for us. There it is.
Okay. Yeah. Yeehaw! We did this, boys.
We'll make sure you get an extra ration of grog, Al.
Good.
So, there was inside the tube, which is right there. Now we just got to get the, what's this piece? The brake hub?
Brake housing.
Brake housing.
Big screwdriver thing. Take that off. Brake housing. Okay. You need to find a couple caps for those. There should be some right over there somewhere. But yeah, it's got the 3 screw holes.
So, we don't need to pull that off yet.
No.
No, it's just, everything we got to do is from basically that gland nut down, right?
Right, if we're going to reseal this. Yes.
Yeah, so it's from there. The actual movable strut, not this whole upper
No,
piece.
just from this gland nut down.
All right.
That's why these have to be disconnected
All right.
and resealed.
Cool.
This we got to take all the way off.
With the anti-lock sensor?
Yeah, because
Or
it goes
anti-skid?
down, yeah, it goes down that conduit. So we're gonna have to loosen up this conduit all the way down. Okay. But the rest of these can stay there. And hey, you're almost ready to pull the strut. Almost.
Almost.
Is it showing any pressure?
You see that light? Yeah, it's in the green.
Well, we need to bleed that off.
Alrighty. Slowly. So, awesome. Alright, so here's a shot of the strut. That's the front side there. Not seeing too much differences between this one and our 400 and that 500 in the crate. Let's go look at that real quick. Alright, so here's the one in the crate. And it's really hard to tell any differences between these two. I mean, this one's kind of sat in the crate for a little bit, so it's a slight bit dusty. But it's... Huh. Like, even the bottom end here, like, the offset's about the same. The thickness is there. We don't know. Sorry about that, guys. The battery died. So, like I was saying, not sure if this can swap over, but a lot of the measurements that we've been doing between the two, you'd almost think you could use one in place of the other, but I don't know. I'm not sure if you can or not. Alright, so we're doing two things with this gear right now. We're going to dig through the manuals and see if we can swap this 400 with a 500, because a lot of the measurements back and forth between the two are pretty much identical, so don't know if we can take this one and swap it with the 400. Maybe one of you guys knows the answer to that. I certainly don't. Not yet anyway. Hopefully we'll find that out. The other thing is we're going to look into getting the seal kit that we need in order to reseal this strut assembly so that it will function and operate correctly. Alright, another news. I got the clamp that I need, or I'm sorry, the bolt that I needed for the clamp on the main fuel filter for the right-hand engine. So gotta have to open up the doors and put this back in and then do a function check to make sure it doesn't leak. This is the last thing we need on the right-hand engine to make sure that everything is sealed up tight. Alright, so here's one of the differences that we found already. So main landing gear, you got two columns here, one for dry, one for wet. You could think of it as, what'd you call this, Al? Air Force and Navy?
No, land and sea.
Land and sea. So here's our gear right here. It's a 41400-302. And the one that's in the crate is a 41500-2, and that's underneath the wet column. Ours is under the dry column. So, I don't know. What are you thinking, Al?
I can't see any reason they wouldn't swap, but I don't know enough to make that call.
Yeah. Yeah, me either. I don't know. I just help work here.
Okay. If anybody has any ideas, we'd be glad to hear it.
Yeah. All right, everybody. That's all we got from the hangar this weekend. Did some good work. Got the hub off the main landing gear axle. So we'll see what we can do from here. And again, happy Veterans Day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.